Yeah, also, thank God somebody had a plan before you committed to this mutiny,
Yeah,
because you only found out about it after the fact.
because we know that they had a plan.
Yeah, but assumingly, like, he committed this whole mutiny and then would have figured something else out, right?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Gaiden. We're in Arc 3, Episode 3, The Mutineer.
Yeah.
Thoughts about last episode?
I mean, it kind of makes sense that he would try to, put him in charge just for mutinying, even though for being a mutineer, even though the orders that he gave were the correct ones, because you have to chain of command is a very important thing in the military, right?
It's one of the best episodes of Season 3 of Babylon 5.
So, and that's kind of the difference between this is not as I mean, I wouldn't call this military light. I would call this military medium. It's not military hardcore, right? It follows a little closer to military conventions, but not so much. It's not as loose as with it as in Star Trek. Like, oh, the first officer says this, like, oh, that was great that you said that.
Would you say military well done?
Yeah. Kind of, yeah, military. No, well, military well done is will be more hardcore. So yeah. So medium rare. No, medium, not medium rare.
Military broiled?
Probably.
Military frappe?
Well, that's something completely different.
No, those are settings on a blender.
Yeah.
Frappe is closer to the middle.
Yeah. Either way.
I mean, I don't know. This follows on more of the hardcore military shit that I've read. Not hardcore. It's more hardcore sci-fi than it's hardcore military, but it is harder military than most of the stuff that I read.
I mean, it makes sense. And the problem I think it is, well, not a problem, depending how it makes it interesting, unless we get a reveal that movement of the ship was deliberate. It wasn't an accident, although they do discuss this in the last episode.
I mean, it was deliberate. But we both agree on that. That's a subjective fact.
Here we go again.
Well, we both know what that means, apropos of nothing. So, it's an opinion that we both have, we both share, we both agree on. Subjectively, for us, it is a fact.
Unless
proven false. But again, it doesn't matter if it's proven false. It's still a subjective fact.
Yeah.
When it's proven false, it's a subjective fact that we were wrong about.
Yes.
Remember, fact in here is being modified by the word subjective. In this case, making it not a fact, but a subjective fact. And a fact that's wrong is not a fact, but a subjective fact can be wrong because it's just a clever way of saying an opinion.
Yeah, I prefer the word opinion. It's clear.
I prefer the word subjective fact because I feel like I'm waging a war on words with you. And I like to be right, or at least sound like I'm right, even when I'm wrong. I have a future in politics.
Feigning intelligence. Yeah, that's...
Well, to be fair, you're constantly telling me I'm wrong, and I find out in editing that I was right. And it's like, sometimes it doesn't matter if I'm right anymore. You're just going to tell me I'm wrong. So I might as well have some fun with this.
It matters if you're right, because that means I'm wrong, and I'm willing to accept that I'm wrong.
Yeah, but at some point, it's like, is it fun to just keep constantly coming back? Actually, I was right, because that's not fun either. So... just have fun with the moments you tell me I'm wrong, and I have like the confidence in myself to say, no, I am right. Because I can't think that well. I don't... Sorry, that came off as a hard insult. I don't think so well. M-O-O-N. That smells smart.
I didn't... No.
No, I don't know why I said that way.
No, not
Um,
touching that with. Nope. Mm-mm.
what I meant to say is I'm not very good in debating anymore. So
Ah,
when also I think we've had this thing before where I feel like I'm like 100% right, and then you'll say something like no because of this, and I'm like, oh shit, was I wrong? Like instant self doubt. So, and I also
anywhere.
dislike Googling in the middle of our
Yeah.
arguments, even though I will obviously right at the end of everything. But
Google.
the future
Okay.
me knows that that's just a hard edit.
Yeah. Going back to what I was trying to say, which is
About our
we
agreed subjective
believe,
fact.
yes, we believe that it was him who did the committed order in order to kill Reinhardt. However, and this get discussed. However, so far he's being, how can I say this, reasonable. Like, for example, he gets the student goes like, oh yeah, but I studied the star, blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah, but if that doesn't work, we're all dead. So, that's a very chancy roll of the dice. Which,
Well, like I said, because the obvious move is that Siegfried's going to be like, oh, this dude has some information which we could use to get out of here. But my poll, if I was in that scenario, would be like, the other end of what was being talked about, this guy has no home to go to. He's got nothing left if this fails. It doesn't matter as much to him as it does the rest of us.
was it him or somebody else?
No, he was literally the guy when they're panning back. He's the guy on sitting on the corner,
Oh,
writing in the
yeah,
notebook. He's that guy.
yeah.
Always remember that I rewatch and take my notes literally the night before. Also, I was fixing the board maybe half an hour before we recorded, so I remember the guy implicitly from the last time on.
I'm not saying you're in this case. I'm not saying you're wrong. I say I didn't remember who
No,
exactly
I mean,
he
I'm
was.
saying why I know so much about what just happened is that I literally just watched it.
So yeah, and now Reinhardt, no, yeah, Reinhardt is
About to win the war
yeah.
against the Omnics.
Well, that's a different
Reinhardt,
scenario together. Yeah, he is held in his own quarters, pending return to Eisenhorn. Eisenhorn, yeah, fortress
Isolon,
Iserlohn.
Isellohn.
Iserlohn.
I only know
Uh,
that because I've said it wrong 1,000 times because I have it baked into my head that it's Lorne and not Lon. That's why I can spell it.
yeah, and so he has to. He will be court-martialed. But of course, we'll see if that's the case. Because we
Well,
also had a scene where he got to know the men, and like, oh, tell me about the men. He's like, well, this guy wants to do this, da, 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 da.
well, he said
And
it'd
so,
make
like,
it harder for you to order us to our deaths.
which is true.
But also, we had a
Of
next
course.
time on that implies that they're about to do a full ass mutiny. And it's
Yeah.
not going to come to that thing that you just said.
Mhm. So we'll see what happens now.
All right, well, all that said, I guess let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry, I think you said it in such a short burst that your filter must have kicked it out. I saw your mouth move, but there was like no verbalization.
Down.
It's a problem I get when I'm doing the solo live stream stuff. The filter that I use, I hear like the mechanical roboty bits when I listen to it later, which is why I record two different audio sources for myself. One with the normal filter that I'm doing with you right now, that I can edit easier in post, and one that I'm streaming directly to the stream.
Yeah.
So the stream only hears the highly filtered one that I don't actually like,
Yeah.
and then I keep one for myself that I edit through. Which sometimes doesn't work that well either, so... It's a love song.
Hmm.
He's a cheater. I mean, again, we've discussed before. Gang basically is just riding his way to the top with very little work. Like, Yang has explosions of luck, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, everything came together at Alpha Seal, where he had to do very little planning and just won the day. Reinhardt is being constantly trying to be assassinated and is still getting victories under his belt. That's why Reinhardt is better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I chose him as my character. I have to say this. But then again, I'll literally cheer for my character, and you won't even salute when one of yours dies.
帝国歴482年9月2日、駆逐艦ハーメルンツバイは絶対絶命の危機に陥っていた。
Spirin.
さて、君たちを呼んだのは他でもない。機関の修理に手間取っている上、修理しても加速に問題があると思われる。その上敵は足の遅い戦艦や巡航艦ばかりでなく、戦闘艇部隊を擁していることも分かった。私の判断を先に言おう。
I legit thought that one of these guys was Siegfried from behind. I guess I saw red hair when red hair didn't even exist. I was like, why was the chief of security on this one?
それはまさか軍事機密の漏洩を防ぐため自沈する。
Okay, so instead of trying the very risky maneuver, we're just gonna kill ourselves.
See, that went when he went from reasonable to I'm an asshole. I'll kill you all so that I don't look bad.
I hear your suicide attempt, but how about, let me just preface this now, no.
それが誇りある帝国士官の矜持を守るということだ。ですが、考えてもみろ。貴族である艦長と航海長を書いて、平民である我々が指揮する艦が降伏などしたら、やはり平民にはプライドがない。自尊心がないと後ろ指さされるに違いない。私は帝国軍人の鏡と言われるように行動してきた。それを全うする。
I mean, to be fair, this is probably what the rest of the military would prefer too.
今すぐというわけではない。だが、敵に発見されれば嫌でも決断しなくてはならなくなる。その時までに覚悟を決めておいてくれ。副長は敵に発見されて逃げられない時は自爆するつもりだ。なんですって。俺は降伏を進めたんだ。
Okay, so now the real mutiny
ユー
begins.
ゼル注意なら帝国軍が手を回して優先的に捕虜交換で戻れるだろう。俺たちもそのおこぼれに扱われる。それなのにあの副長と来たら、落ち度があった時に身分のせいにされるのを極端に嫌っている。そのくらいなら戦死した方がいいとまで思っている。
So I'm suspecting we're gonna mutiny. We're gonna take control of the ship. We're gonna do the ride the solar wave thing out of here, so we don't surrender either. So it all win-win-win all the way down.
家中の栗は他人に拾わせるわけですか。そう言うなよ。
And then half a year later, all these people die without surrendering.
Yeah, somewhere else.
Oh, no, ironically, I guess they wouldn't die without surrendering. These people are about to fight about being able to surrender. So they'll have died surrendering.
だから保安主任に話しているんだ。保安部員は部下といっても副長の息のかかったものばかりです。どうしたものか。キルヒアイス少尉を監視しろ。不穏な動きがあったらすぐに知らせるんだ。
I'm glad we, this trio, could just wander around down here and nobody thought anything about this.
Oh, we're doing the
Die Hard?
嫌なところ一発食らったもんだぜ。ザイテル伍長。ザイテル伍長、上だ。なんだ、少尉さんかい。
I was confused. He was looking up at him through the grate. I saw these lines against his face, and I was expected to see them when he painted. I was like, "What? Have you been rubbing your face against the grates? What's happened?" You know what else is no going back from? Explosions. Well, he's about to take care of you for the final time. If you don't, like, mutiny with us.
だが副長は5年も宇宙に出ているんだ。いくらミューゼル中尉が優秀でも経験の差ってやつがあるだろう。
副長はすでに判断を誤った。あのまま彼が指揮していたら、この間はとうに宇宙の木図だった。そればかりではない。副長は軍機にのっとって自爆を考えているという。
でもそりゃいよいよの時だろう。
だが副長には脱出案がない。このままでは自爆は規定の路線になってしまう。
Really feels like you should lead with that. Hey, let's mutiny for no reason. Oh, by the way, he's gonna self-destruct the ship.
Yeah.
Start with that.
なんてこったい。おい、ロルフ。
Disable the self-destruct device.
開けろ。
できません。誰も入れるなと。
Assuming that's a real thing, I assume they're more likely to explode like the mines in the tubes or something.
副長からキルヒアイス少尉がミューゼル中尉と接触を図るようなら反逆同調者とみなして拘束するよう命令されています。
こんな狭い通路で発砲すると味方に当たるぞ。
You know, the dumbass move is to, like, lower your gun and shock at what somebody says. Yeah, I don't legit know if Siegfried is that amazing or if these guys are just fucking idiots.
それにしても少尉殿、あんた強いね。
ミューゼル中尉はもっと強いぞ。
おお、それじゃあお出まし願い
Yeah, to be
ましょう。
fair, he did go Super Saiyan last time we saw him fight. You said my name? I've been standing in front of this door since yesterday, waiting for someone to dramatically open it.
Well, yes.
行くぞ。環境を制圧する。何のつもりだ。ご覧の通りです。この状況から脱するために指揮権を預からせていただきます。バカな。お前たちまで。
すいませんね、副長。俺たちだって生き残りたいんです。そのためにはミューゼル中尉に指揮を取ってもらう方が良さそうなんでね。皆さんだってそう思う。
Yeah, but in the next time on, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work
I think it's
so
fine.
easily. No, but we saw something the next time on the show that that's not gonna work.
I
as
legit don't remember, so don't tell me because my memory is playing the situation up badly.
別に反乱だとは思わない。これは自衛のためだ。しかし無事に帰ったとして。
As much as I remember, this is all that happened.
考えてもみろ。ミューゼル中尉はグリューネワルト伯爵夫人の弟だぞ。万が一軍法会議になってももみ消されるに決まっている。むしろ彼に協力した方が後々のためだぞ。とにかく副長には指揮権を譲ってくださるつもりはないようだが、このブラスターにかけてこの場は我々が制圧する。副長に従う者は一緒に監禁させてもらうが、危害を加える。
For those of you who don't believe in my authority, I will use the authority of gun.
Man, yeah.
私はこんなやり方は容認できない。あくまでも副長に従う。
私は機関の修理がある。どちらにもつかない。
結構です。ならば私も中立だ。自分はミューゼル中尉を支持します。
任務に専念します。結構。副長とエミリッヒ少尉は監禁する。
Sorry, is concentrating on your own tasks also neutral? I don't remember what your job is, last guy who talked.
死んだら後悔すらできません。キルヒアイス少尉は残るように。伍長、頼む。
I mean, seriously, I don't remember the last guy who talks job was. It's like the engineer being neutral.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Keep the ship working. It doesn't matter who's in charge.
ラインハルトはキルヒアイスからシュミットの案を聞いて興味を持ち、詳しい検討に入った。
Yeah, also, thank God somebody had a plan before you committed to this mutiny.
Yeah.
Because you only found out about it after the fact.
Because we know that they had a plan.
それでは遅すぎますね。
Yeah, but assumedly, like, he committed this whole mutiny and then would have figured something else out, right?
Yeah.
3時間後には作戦を開始しないと間に合いません。
3時間では修理は無理だ。
修理自体は17時間後までに完了していただければ。
だが一度作戦を開始してしまったら中止はできないぞ。始めてから修理が不能となったら取り返しがつかない。
いや、17時間あれば大丈夫だろう。機関部員の総力を上げればな。
いずれにせよ、機関長には機関の修理に全力を挙げていただきたい。借りていた部下たちもお返しする。
そう願いたいね。そもそも貸した覚えもないんだがな。おい、シュミット、行くぞ。
I guess this is just a map room.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out since the first time we were here with Bertram, because all the background screens are just triangles. I'm like, what is this room for?
どうなさいます？シュミット一等兵の案を採用なさいますか？そのつもりだ。
しかしリスクが大きすぎる。
It's also weird in this translation they call them seamen.
だが
Specifically because they've called them spacemen in the past.
兵卒かもしれないが天体物理は彼の専門だ。観測データも緻密なもので信頼はできる。機関の修理が間に合うという保証もないし、私は彼らを信じる。兵を信じずして戦はできない。
The guy who just did a mutiny, you can't trust your subordinates. You're screwed.
I mean, it's right up there with somebody who, like, elopes with another man's wife, right? You know what you're kind of getting into, because you know what she's about. She did it to one other guy before you.
端末にバイパスを作って強制接続しました。
どうなっている？事情は分かった。やはりミューゼルは素人だ。机上の空論と現実との区別もついていないと見える。指揮権を奪い返さないことにはな。
Oh, the guy who will just do his job. He was communications. Got it.
武器はキルヒアイス少尉が抑えてしまっていて入手は難しいかと。
船外作業用のレーザートーチと液体酸素ボンベがあるだろう。近接戦闘ならあれが使える。
鍵も焼き切れますね。
了解しました。
おっと撃つなよ。
何の
見ての通り人質に取らせてもらった。
あなたは部下の命を盾に取るのか？
もはや部下ではない反乱者だ。ミューゼル貴様もな。さあ武装解除して指揮権を返してもらおうか。
おい。
指揮権を開始したらどうなさるおつもり？
I mean, specifically that's Rolf, right? So, brother has to come running.
この艦を自沈させるということか。
貴様こそこの艦を攻勢に突っ込ませようとしているではないか。悪あがきをした上、無様に蒸し焼きになるより潔い最後を迎えてこそ名誉も守られるというものだ。
助かるための策も講ぜず。
Imagine trying to have lunch during this conversation.
道連れにするつもりか？
策？一兵卒のザレ言を真に受けて艦を危険にさらすのが策か？
軍の階級と知識や才能は別のものだ。あなたの視野は軍隊の中だけの広さしか持ってはいない。
こいつはお笑いだ。貴族のお坊ちゃまに世間知らず呼ばわりされるとはな。
平民が常に貴族より苦労しているとでも思っているのか？
姉に対する皇帝陛下のご寵愛を良いことに16歳で中尉になったような苦労知らずが言うことか。
Your argument from before.
貴様に何がわかる。まずいです。敵艦が接近中。このままのコースで進行すれば我々が視界に入る可能性が高いと思われます。発見されるとすれば何分後だ。およそ15分。作戦開始予定時刻にあと7分。機関の修理状況は 30%。 続行しろ。
バカな。今ここで動いたら発見される可能性が高まるばかりではないか。
動かずにいても
Legit, you can blow yourself up at any time.
やめんか。やめないとこいつを殺すぞ。
副長、やめてください。
It's the hostage scenario, situation problem, right? You can only threaten to kill the hostage once, and then what? You lose any thing you have.
兵士ごときが何を考えるというんだ。お前たちは手足だ。考えるのはエリートの士官がやればいいんだ。
それがあなたの本音か。
そうだとも。そのために私は士官になったんだ。平民だというだけで徴兵されて一兵卒からやらされるのはごめんだ。そんな境遇に甘んじてる奴らは何を考える必要もない、資格もない。黙って俺に従えばいいんだ。
あんた平民の代表じゃなかったのか。
誰がそんなことを言った。俺が平民の代表だって。やめてくれ。俺はお前たちのような負け犬とは違う。
Oh, you got me monologuing again.
いいか、軍の階級は身分とは違うんだ。軍で出世すれば貴族の部下に命令もできる。これが勝つってことなんだ。だからミューゼル、貴様は許さん。貴様は注意だ。俺は大尉だ。貴様は俺の命令に従っていればいいんだ。
断る。
Yeah, for being so like military trained and everything like that, you have horrible gun discipline.
Yeah.
Stop using it to point at everything. You've got a free hand. Point with that one.
これが反乱だというのなら、私はその汚名をあえて被ろう。
兄貴、俺のことはいいから航海長を助けてやってくれ。俺は殺されてもミーゼル注意を指示する。ロル、
Which is fair, because he saved your life once already. You owe him one.
副長がミューゼル注意の邪魔をするなら僕も。俺もだ。俺もミューゼル注意を指示する。
I am too, Spartacus.
聞いていたのか。
Well, he's a man of the people. Basically, just said. Instead of a commoner representing other commoners to nobles, he's a noble representing commoners. So I started blasting.
Told you he had death flags all over him.
Something, something, something. Death flags are red or one under his shirt. I wanted to draw you like one of my French girls.
I don't think you can slap the dead awake.
It worked in the abyss.
こんなことで。そう、待て。銃を収めよ。艦長。
He wasn't dead.
Also, very presumptuous of you to put your gun down the moment the captain shows up. The other guy doesn't have. You know, fuck it. I already shot a guy. I'm just gonna go down.
元はといえば、私が不甲斐なくも倒れてしまったことで、二人には余計な苦労をかけてしまった。すまないと思っている。
ましてこのような深刻な対立となって犠牲者まで出してしまったと。私はまだ実務には復帰できない。そこでミューゼル注意。K を正式に艦長代理に任命する。以後の指揮を取りたまえ。
艦長、やはりあなたは貴族同士で。
So I fucking heard your speech.
それは関係ない。君は身分にこだわりすぎている。私が評価するのはこの艦を救おうとする意志と冷静な判断だ。大君も艦長代理に協力してやってくれたまえ。頼んだぞ。
Sorry, they must have given him some, like, real strong drugs for him to think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
これ以上怪我人に負担をかけないようにしてくれ。医者として責任が持てないからな。
Well, I mean, you will be held responsible. You're the fucking doctor.
俺たちも艦長を見誤っていたのかもしれないな。
Yeah, he was dumber than I could imagine.
聞いての通りだ。正式に艦長の委託を受けて私が指揮を取る。依存はないな。副長。
承知した。
This is fucking stupid.
作戦を続行する。
But he walked in, he walked in onto the bridge, acknowledging the fact that literally the entire crew had just turned on the first officer.
Yeah.
And thought, you know, they'll still listen to his orders. I better keep him second in command.
ラインハルトはようやく正式に指揮権を手中に収めた。だが本当の困難はこれからだった。
アンカーを切り離し、自由落下体制に。
God, I don't even know how long it's been. But
Yeah,
from the
that
15-minute
seemed
mark of the other ship
Yeah.
coming around.
Mm-hmm. Well, 15 minutes, I guess. No, it's 22, 25. So
No, I don't
10
remember
minutes?
how long in the episode it was for them. I mean, obviously, it must have been 7 minutes ago, because 7 minutes was when they were going to start their operation, and 15 minutes when the ship was going to get there to detect them, possibly. But still, it's so dumb. The captain showing up and being like, well, one of you is literally guilty of possible murder right now, but we should all make friends. Even though literally that guy who's possibly guilty of murder right now, the entire crew turned against you and literally makes you incapable of enacting your responsibilities as first officer. But for some reason, I really feel like you should be here on the bridge.
I said that it would be an issue how they get out of the mutiny. And I was right. And I think they brought the captain in.
Again, if they killed him, wouldn't have been an issue.
No, because there's always someone who can actually, after the fact, like, oh, yeah.
Literally, they were all counting on his relationship to his sister to get them out of it if it was a situation. So, and assuming still that Bertram is the connection to Susanna, who's trying to get him killed anyway. 2 birds, 1 stone. Hell, at the end of the day, say that he was causing the mutiny. Again, he's dead. Who's gonna know?
Oh, that win in space.
紆余曲折を経て脱出作戦は開始された。攻勢アルトミューレへ落下していくハーメルンツバイ。しかし土壇場で生制御スラスタの一機が
Why not?
今では修理が不能となった。この絶対絶命の危機を打開する者は次回銀河英雄伝説外伝反乱者第4話。心のくびき解き放ち強き翼今星の海に羽ばたく。
Man, I wonder if they'll survive. I mean, literally, it's man. I wonder who the villain of the next 100 episodes is going to be.
Yeah. So, yeah. The problem I'm having with this series is kind of the same problem we had with the other series. Is that there's a lot of contrivances, right?
No.
What do you know?
I mean, no, it's not the same problem I had in the other series at all. The other series was slow, and it doubled down on all information, and really, what's the point? As the commenter said 2 episodes back, I constantly was saying.
Yeah, this
I
one
know
is
what the point of this one is. It's a not doubling down on information. I haven't heard the same guy say the same thing 3 times at literally different points of his own life.
But this one seems to be driven by contrivance more than anything else.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fact that, the captain just came out and said, oh, yeah, we could have this fight. You could shoot this guy, but I'm going to save his life. It just feels...
That's not driven by contrivance. Contrivance is, in fact, a problem. Literally, we were on the verge of victory. Bertram was going to be dead. We were about to enact our plans. Everything would have gone our way. Now the captain's thrown a wrench in the plans by, 1, still being alive, and 2, putting Bertram back in action somehow.
Yeah.
So that's not a good contrivance. That is a monkey wrench contrivance.
Mm-hmm.
And typically all negative things that happen to us are contrivances, so it doesn't really matter. And that they're out of the purview of the main characters to deal with.
It is very plot driven, for sure. But then, that's the nature of the beast.
Yes, that is the nature of all narratives.
No, you can have character-driven narratives.
Yeah, character-driven narratives are also determined by the plot.
Okay. I'm going to explain. I know you know this, but still. When I said plot-driven, is that it doesn't matter what the characters do, it's going to happen anyway. When I say character-driven, is that it means that the characters, what they do determines what happens in the plot. It seems to be very plot-driven. That's it. That's what I meant. My inner English major is just dying bit by bit. Anyway.
Well, you should probably let him go.
Yeah.
Less food bills if you don't have to feed another guy in the house.
That's true. Yeah, bringing the captain back didn't feel right. And I knew that Rolf was going to die. Well, did he die or is he wounded? Because they took him away.
The problem is they called him a casualty, and a casualty doesn't automatically mean death.
Yeah,
injuries are casualties.
Yeah, so he could still make it, but I don't know. I mean, also the fact that I know what bothers me. This guy is acting one way, right? And then all of a sudden, because the story requires a villain, he's like, oh, I never meant anything about commoners. I was a fake. I'm somebody who's obsessed with rank. And we're gonna all kill ourselves because reasons, reasons being that he doesn't want to face, reality of failure. That's why. That's the reason. And so it's like, I know that the other planets kind of harebrained and extreme, but at least, the fact that he goes, oh, I'm going to face extreme situation by just being something I've not been up to this point, an extremist, right?
He's implying that via military rank, he can determine the fate of nobility. That's what he's arguing at the very end. And in this way, he can order the deaths of a bunch of nobles, and they can't do anything about it because he outranks them.
Yeah, but it's also ordering a lot of the deaths of it. Not only himself, but
he's
also
already said he doesn't give a shit about that.
Exactly. Somebody who seemed to be, grounded with the crew. All of a sudden, it's like, well, actually, I don't give a shit. It's like it seems like we don't. I mean,
I agree with you on the element that seems like a weird turn, but his explanation for it still fits within the realm of everything that he's done so far. It doesn't his heel turn doesn't reverse the actions that he's taken. It feels more that the commoners amongst the crew have latched onto him, which is an element I talked about before in my note taking, that they idolize him. He has never said anything to the effect of, oh yeah, I'm the man of the ship sort of thing. He has never bought into that sort of thing on his own. It has just been reflected upon him by the crew. so that
but
when
also
he
seems to
heel
exploit
turns,
it.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
of course
he
you would, wouldn't you? Especially if everything he says is true, that he never gave a shit and he's just trying to climb the ranks in order to get above the nobility that he finds to be problematic. So, of course he would exploit it. Like I said, nothing that he's done here nullifies anything else that's happened so far. It's unexpected and it doesn't make a lot of sense from what we've seen, but again, our perspective has been those guys at the bottom that look up at him. So it's literally like never meet your heroes.
No, but even his
when Alex Trebek turns out to be an asshole when the cameras are off, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's a thing where up to this point, not so much that he's a hero to the common man. He's acted in a way that at the very least sounds reasonable. And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, I'm going to be unreasonable. Everybody's going to die. That's the military regulations.
Well, because as I said, when it was happening, that's the kind of thing that the military would want anyway. They say, we're not going to let any of our military secrets fall into the enemy hands. It's like, yeah, they probably would want that. And apparently he's following protocols too, so it's literally in the manual. And they look up to him for making all the right decisions because he has all the experience, which is what he mentions there too.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 5 years experience. You don't have that. So like I said, nothing of what he's done contradicts anything that's happened so far, which is why I think it's fine. It's weird and off-putting, but that's only a matter of perspective. Again, it's a never meet your hero situation. Everyone looks up to him because they don't know who he really is. Now the cameras are off, which ironically, the camera's on because he's broadcasting to the whole ship.
Yeah.
And he's giving it all out. And his point of view is climbing the ranks puts me above the nobility because military status is different than social status. So in this way, I get to tell these assholes what to fucking do. And it doesn't matter if I live down deck, or below deck, or above deck. I am who I am. And it also, I guess, makes more sense to why he accommodates the captain, because he believes in the military rank structure. It's not that the captain is an aristocrat, even though he asks him, wait, are you putting him in charge because you're both nobility? And then at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the captain says because he still follows the structure. It doesn't matter to me that I don't know what you would say here, insurrecting an insurrection. I'm mutinying against the mutineers.
Mutineers, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to that because the captain is the original rank structure and I follow that original rank structure even if he disagrees with what I think I should do. If the captain gives me an order, I was willing to die for the command structure. So even though this is very uncomfortable and I have to now be back with everyone I was just pointing guns at, the captain told me to, and it would be insane to think that I would commit suicide for the command structure, but then not listen to the captain.
Yeah. Still, it could have been done better.
Like I said, it would be worse if the things didn't add up. Like, if he was contradicting himself, or I guess technically if he was contradicting himself, he would be more of a human type character. That you could have conflicting points of view, like, I was willing to die for this, but fuck you, Captain, I'm not going to follow his orders, because that would bring a human element to him, instead of what feels more like, here's 5 character things about Bertram that will always remain true. Number 1, he will always follow the chain of command, right? So that'll override any discomfort he feels about following orders from the guy he was literally about to shoot, or literally did just try to shoot.
Yeah. I mean, he shot at him and Rolf got in the way.
Which I guess is subjectively true.
No, literally, that's what happened. Rolf got in the way.
Well, I mean, I'm saying he shot him and then Rolf jumped in the way of the bullet. Or whatever, these lasers, I don't know. I don't actually remember seeing one go off where we've seen the end of the gun. But you're saying he shot at him, which feels like a lawyer defense. No, Your Honor. He didn't try to shoot him. He shot at him. That has no intention behind it. He just shot at him. He could have missed. In fact, he did when another man got in the way of the shot. But there's no telling if Rolf hadn't gotten in the way, he may have missed. In which case, he wouldn't have shot him. He would have shot at him. Again, it's lawyer speak is what you're throwing out. And I'm saying he intended to shoot him. He was shooting him.
Yeah. Just so happens that Rolf got in the way.
Right. Rolf Secret Serviced him.
Yeah. In the gut. Oh, with his gut, I suppose.
Right. But the point is, he went to shoot him, and now he has to follow his orders because, again, chain of command, if we follow stage 1 on things that Bertram believes or will always follow, which is chain of command, he now will have to do, if everything that I argued about Bertram remains true, he will not try to usurp Reinhardt again. For the rest of the next episode, he will follow orders all the way through.
No matter what.
Chain of command. The one thing we've shown him to be true is that he follows the military rank structure, no matter what.
Yeah. No matter what.
No matter what.
So that's it.
All right. Well, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stone Face Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?